I was born in a town called Lake Charles, Louisiana. It's situated about 30 miles from the Gulf of Mexico and about 35 miles from the Louisiana Texas border. That added a special flair with all of the different groups there. So I grew up there, lived there as a kid, with my parents and my oldest siblings, because I'm the youngest. My father was a letter carrier, and my mother was a stay at home mom. Occasionally she would do, different things, but she was there. There would be weeks we would be at church 3 times a week. So I think that a lot of their beliefs shaped me too. Because there was a lot of like racial tension in my town. I lived in a neighborhood where there were some people who were very socially active, like really active. And the Ku Klux Klan would come and burn crosses. The Well, I think it wasn't the terror of watching these these things like the KKK and all of that. It was the response of the adults that made a difference. So, like when it would happen, my father and all of the guys, they would just get a hose, put the thing out, and it was hard to put out. I don't know what kind of accelerant they would use to make those crosses and make them burn so well. And but it was just their reaction. I remember telling my father, and I'm just being honest, I hate white people. He was like, nope, not the avenue you're gonna go. And so then he started telling me, he said, Mrs. So and so at the bank? And I was like, yeah. He says, she's not like that, is she? And I was like, no, because she would give me candy. So he says, you cannot ever put everybody in one basket like that. And most of all, you don't want to hate anybody. When I was 12, I was interviewed by my newspaper, and I remember being asked a question, and I believed even then so much in dialogue and exchange of stories that I told him, I said, well, if I could sit with David Duke, I said, I think we could have a really good discussion. And I just remember the adults going, what is wrong with this child? Because I really, even now as I say it, I still have some belief. Not as much as I did as that 12-year-old kid. I went to college in New Orleans, and then I went to Texas and stayed there after college 2 years, and then moved to the state of Washington to go to grad school. It was an adventure, and maybe because I was the youngest in the family, I always liked adventures and going places and doing things. And I was admitted to a couple schools, but they were in areas where, I was familiar and I wanted to try something different. So that's when I went up to the state of Washington. Had never been there. It took about a year to feel okay. When I was living in Washington, I was driving on this one highway because I was driving from the state of Washington down the California coast. It was just beautiful. Oh God, breathtaking. And what happened, I underestimated how much time it would take me to get to my hotel. And I'm just driving. And on the side of this mountain there was this glow. And something was burning. And I remember I had a panic attack. I literally, like I couldn't breathe. What's going on? And as I got closer, it was like this certain kind of glow that it had. It was something, so somebody was just burning something. And I had to pull over and pull myself together. And then moving here was another adventure. I knew one person when I came to Keene, but it was nice to come and get to understand how to operate and function. And yeah, the people were nice. And so I made a transition. I'm asked over and over again, will we be able to continue to do this work? And I said, yes, some way, somehow, we'll continue to do the work that we're doing. But I think the biggest challenge is just watching how we're becoming more and more divided, and not having compassion
My name is Dottie Morris, and I was honored in 2008 as one of the outstanding women of New Hampshire. Thank you. My role at Keene State College includes providing support and direction to the college as the institution fulfills its commitment to equity, diversity, inclusion, social justice, and intercultural engagement. That most important contribution we can make is to inspire, guide, and nurture those eager and curious to learn, and to facilitate both teaching and learning by offering institutional and other support. All of this contributes to individual well-being, but also thriving, vibrant communities, and to society as a whole.